Boston Mayor Michelle Wu is providing an update on the city's response to the intersecting crises centered at Mass and Cass. Let's listen in.
To understand their individual needs and to have lots and lots of conversations about what the right next step would be as the city works to make sure that everyone is safe and doesn't have to live out on the street, especially with the winter coming. As you can see, even down the street, the progress in terms of people who have already moved into their placements and ongoing moves and transportation and storage has been going really smoothly. And all of our city staff on the ground, from Tanya's team on the coordinated response side to the public health folks, housing, police, and all of our community partners have been checking in real time as we go to update the numbers, to troubleshoot any individual situations. We are, as a city, dealing with a challenge that cities across the country are facing when so many of our systems leave people falling through the gaps. And this overlapping set of crises around mental health and homelessness and substance use isn't one that can be fixed overnight anywhere, but we are seeing some real progress in Boston, having built up an infrastructure for low-threshold housing with medical supports and treatment, and now the outreach to be able to connect people directly there and work so that each individual is matched with their specific needs. It has been a long-standing challenge in the city of Boston. I will just reflect that for me, this is an issue that we are never going to give up on, because we also know that, relatively speaking, it is a manageable one to make sure that we can be a place where individuals get what they need and we can demonstrate what's possible by coordinating services. Every single major city in the country has to do a census of unsheltered individuals each year, and they send that information up to the federal government and up to HUD, just so that the national numbers are all in one place. Last year, the City of Boston census counted that there were 119 unsheltered individuals who were living on the street. Each one of those people on that night offered services, as they always are. But just as a comparison point, for example, the City of Los Angeles had nearly 25,000 people in their unsheltered individuals count. So we see this as a community of people who we are determined to ensure are moving forward with their recovery journey, and also contributing to the community and plugging back into the families they love, the neighborhoods they grew up in, and this city that they want to be a part of and are eagerly working to contribute to as well. So we're making great progress. It's been all hands on deck and everyone working together really closely. So most of all, I'm just incredibly grateful to our entire team and all of our partners on the ground who have been planning this and are now moving this forward. We are, as you can see, tents continue to come down when individuals are moving into their placements and packing up their belongings and then accessing that transportation. Once the last tent does come down, we will make sure that the street is cleaned and that there's some more of the services, just to kind of ensure that this area is how it should be, but that won't be the end of our efforts by any means. This is really a citywide effort to ensure that as we move to get people out of tense and dangerous situations and into housing and shelter, that we are going to have our mobile outreach teams moving citywide to provide the safety and support in any neighborhood of Boston that needs it. Several of these mobile response teams are already assigned to different areas slightly outside the Mass and Cass area, just in the coming days, to be on hand and directly available. But this effort will be sustained, and even though we know it will not be fixed overnight, I feel very grateful and confident that the coordination that we've seen is unlike ever before in the city, and the infrastructure that's been built up that we can tap into is also at a different place than we've ever been before. So we need to continue working statewide and regionally and beyond to address this, as we know many folks are coming to Boston because we have services here that have been set up, but we are going to continue showing what can happen when you treat each individual person as a human being and really work to try to provide the supports and resources that are necessary. And I want to just hand it over to our incredible director of the coordinated response team, Tanya Del Rio, for her update as well.
Hi, good morning. I'm going to keep it brief. What I want to do is provide the latest numbers that we have. They are as of this morning. Teams have been working really hard throughout the week to provide those individual placements that are going to hopefully work in the longer term for people. So I'm going to share with you how many people have moved into that type of placement, how many are working on it. So as of yesterday, we had 52 people that completed their physical move to their placement, whether that be a family reunification, a shelter placement, a low threshold sites. There's a variety of destinations that people chose for themselves. 52 people have completed those moves. 25 more have accepted the offer that we've provided to them and are in the process of packing up, sorting out the storage. Just there's a lot of miscellaneous needs that people need to fulfill before they complete that placement. We will be providing storage, transportation, or whatever it is else that people need, whether it be basic needs or whatever it is. People do have a variety of things that we're helping them with. We've also completed 9 friends, family, or housing reunifications. And yesterday, the triage team identified 7 people that will be provided a placement assignment today. Teams right now, what you're seeing, outreach workers are back out re-triaging whoever's present in the encampment at this point, making sure that they're provided a shelter or a destination before we close the street and we close the encampment today. As you know, the ordinance provided a 7-day buffer. So the city and all of our partners have been using that 7-day buffer to provide that outreach, to provide those placements before any enforcement begin. And our goal is to complete that and make sure that anyone that wants to get to a placement before today can do that. So that's what we're hard at work doing. We are updating those numbers a couple of times a day. The teams will be back in the engagement center, relaying back what the results of their morning outreach, the results of their triage at 12 p.m. and they'll be going back out and reoffering for anyone that needs any more. Any questions on the numbers? Let me add one more thing. Sorry. We started in the last weeks before this week, we've been hovering around 50 to 55 structures, encampments, tents, fortified structures. At this point, our latest count as of this morning is 14. So we've made great progress. I wanted to share that as well.
So Atkinson Street is expected to be closed this afternoon, right? Like, what does that look like? And I guess for those who may still be remaining, what happens at that stage?
Right, so our hope is that by the time the street is clear, we'll be able to provide sanitation. As you know, there's debris to be collected and there's just a lot of sanitation that needs to be provided. So we'll have this afternoon our public works crew come in and provide that sanitation. After that, the outreach teams that have been in the last year stationed on Atkinson Street are going to reformat into mobile teams that are going to be providing outreach and making those shelter storage offers throughout the whole city.